That helps, doesn't it? Hi, guys. How are you tonight? Ooh, that's going to be a problem. My phone is synced to the computer, and it's going to keep beeping, and I don't know how to stop it. Hey, Watcher, Wombat, Ginger, Jason, Crime. Let's see. I figured we'd start. This was one of the things as we sat around, was mentioned in their victim statements as well, but as we sat around at the restaurant that we ate at, I can't remember the name. I want to say Goodfellows. Hey, Nick, Taffy, Junie. Feeling some justice today. That's right. Yeah. For sure. It was a good day. We get to reflect a lot, and Ginger and I started talking first, and it was before, I believe it was right before they were, or maybe that was with Catherine, right before they were actually. Hi, Haley. Thank you for coming. Haley's Nakota Kelly's mom. Cher's here. And, so before they were even caught, I was already invested with these families, and from there, the relationships that's grown from that, like, I will literally, they're my family. Like, I like to see them try to get rid of me. And they've been through a lot. They've, I, when your loved one is killed, you normally have one suspect, sometimes maybe two. They have five that they have had to go to court for 2 years. I have it in my notes. My notes are going to take a little bit of help from my friends because deciphering my handwriting, I'm dyslexic. So in court, you can't you can't have your cell phone on. And you can't record anything, obviously. So I don't have any wrenches. I don't even know how to do it. But yeah, I probably should have done that. We'll see how it goes. But what was I saying? Oh, I did. I am. But yeah, something about court. I'll tell you what. It's a long day because I know Ginger, I know Cheryl. I'm pretty sure I heard Cher and Roxy and Dottie say the same thing about sleeping last night. Like, it didn't come. It was not happening. I was up till about 3, fell asleep, and then my dog woke me up because he was on top of my hair that I had just fixed for this thing. Because I didn't want to get up. I'm not a morning person, and so I'd fix my hair before I went to bed, took a shower and everything, and I wake up and he's laying across my head and has made me all sweaty, and I have dog hair in my hair, and I had to shower all over again, and I just really hated that. So it was a long morning, and I know that Ginger didn't sleep either. We've all been up for hours, so if I look a little rugged, I got so you can see the bags and the red. But today was just such a good day, and I just wanted to come on and give them something to remember Nicole by. So it's more, yes, I will talk about what happened today. But first, I want to let y'all listen to Nicole sing, because when we were at the restaurant, they all were that they love karaoke. They're all singers. They're all like talented. I just found out that Mark won like $1,000 in a pretty big deal, like karaoke singing competition. So I cannot wait till COVID is over and we can go with them to karaoke. I can't sing worth a lick, but I love to listen to music. Hey, Lake. Hey. Hope I've gotten everybody. But yeah, so they love that. And Cheryl had given me permission on my podcast that's not on YouTube to share Nicole singing. And the song it just make, of like, I feel like it's her way of giving them something, in her boys something, even in death. She's still here and she's still with them, and it's evident in the way that they talk about her and the way that they light up. Now, the audio isn't that great because it was on like an app where you can, sing karaoke with like another voice. But I think it's fitting for today, for Nicole. This is remembering Nicole. I have some pictures as well, and I'll, how that goes with me trying to share my screen. And if I don't do it right, someone please message me. But I'm going to play this song really quick before we get started. And this is actually Cheryl. Who better to remember her than this? Was already aired on the podcast, but this is Cheryl talking about her daughter.
I'm Cheryl Samuels, and I'm the mother of Nicole Lynn Bowen. And my most memorable moment with Nicole, I think, was when she was about 8, and we went to an amusement park with a house of glass, and her sister, who was 10, and my niece, who was 8, they went ahead of Nicole, and Nicole could not get to them, and she kept running into the glass and falling down. My mom and I and my sister were all standing out there. My sister and I were laughing so hard, and my mom got so mad she had to go in that little amusement thing and try to get Nicole out, and to watch her walk through there with her hands out in front of her face. It was just something that we still, to this day, laugh about. So that, I think, is my most memorable about Nicole when she was younger.
Angels come down from heaven just to help us on our way. Come to teach us, then they leave us, and find some other soul to stay. See my share of broken arrows, golden wings as they used to fly. They all go where they go, broken halos that used to shine. Broken halos that used to shine. Don't go Jesus right. When I'm meant to know the answers, they belong to the by and by. They belong to the by and by. See my share of broken halos, folded wings I used to fly. They don't know wherever they go. Broken halos that used to shine. Broken halos that used to shine. Broken halos that used to shine. Broken halos that used to shine.
Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, that's her. I'm so excited. It was awesome. Just listening to her sing. I love it. I miss it. I can't believe it's going to be a year. I can't believe it's going to be a year. The 30th is what is actually on her death certificate. They couldn't, we don't know. But the 30th is what they have on her, and that's what's on her headstone and all that stuff. So I just want to make that clear.
Hold on just a second. So yeah. Hi, Michelle. Hey, Sharon. Thank you guys for coming on with me tonight. That was Nicole and the song, the part about, as I sat there and I listened to Ginger give her statement and Cheryl give hers, this song kept popping back into my mind, of we're not meant to know the answers. They belong to the by and by. And I think, just my opinion, maybe she was trying to give her family comfort, even though she didn't know it. Sometimes things in life just happen like that, and we don't know why we do what we do in the moment, but later it's revealed. And I completely believe in that. I know it may sound silly, but I think that is a message that they can hold on to, that Nicole's in a better place, and justice in the part of it. We still have 2 more to go. But I just think that I hope that song and her singing that song can bring them comfort and forgiveness. I get it. I've had my own share of murder and loved ones, and forgiveness is definitely one of the hardest things that we'll ever do, until we realize that forgiveness is for us. It's not for that person. It's not about them. And for me, I've always felt like, once I, grew up and became a little bit wiser, that is, that by not forgiving, I'm letting them win. And that's the last thing you want to do to the people in our lives that are toxic. And so forgiveness isn't necessarily forgetting ever. It doesn't mean that they don't deserve to pay. They do. It doesn't make us any less angry in moments. but choosing forgiveness keeps them from winning. And I know that Haley, Ginger, Cheryl, Mark, and all of them deserve to be the winners in this situation, if that even makes sense at all. They don't deserve what happened to them as being a victim's family member. Because it doesn't just end there. That's just the start. The judge touched on this today, and he had a really moving state. He did a really great job, and it was really moving into the fact of what is justice and what does it mean, and accountability and retribution. And it was just pretty powerful, and I'm going to write that into a blog and release that like that, because I don't know how she pulled it off, and I had a complete misunderstanding on this, but I get it. I'm in my car driving, and I'm a terrible driver. So I have zero depth perception. Something on the screen. Hold on. I gotta get it off. It's driving me insane. It's making my concentration go all over the place. Must be on my face. It's not on the screen. Oh well. Anyways, but now I've lost that thought. This happens all the time. Oh, what the judge was saying with trying to understand what that word means, and grasping the gravity of this situation and what they've been through, and that it literally, I thought, my aunt was murdered when I was in middle school. She was amazing, and her killer was a coward, and he killed himself. And I thought that's what, because the fallout from murder, the impact of murder is generations. It affects generations. And so, oh, good. I'm glad you don't see spots. Don't ride with me during a snowstorm. Yeah, but I always thought that my family would have fared better. My uncle wouldn't have ended up dying from an overdose. My cousins wouldn't have had a life of turmoil and jail time and heartache if they had seen justice in a court, because he killed himself. And I thought that for so long until these last few years, and realizing that not having to go through what Cheryl and Dottie and their families have to go through, and him admitting it and then taking his own life, was kind of a blessing, because this is hell, literally hell, and shining a light on the struggles they face as you have the main victim, which is Nicole, and she's dead, and they're never going to get to see her ever again. And so you have that pain of unimaginable. No one ever wants to be in those shoes. And that was a big thing that Cheryl talked about today in her statement. Of her and Riley were driving down the road, and they heard on the radio a woman's body was found in Kentland. And in her statement today, she said, "Oh, she's like, oh, I just crushed for that family. They're soon going to find out that their child's no longer alive." And Corbin had asked her, "Is that my mommy?" could that be my mommy? And, she's like, "Oh, no, that's not your mom." I mean, Kentland, like, where is that even at? No, I bet none of us really knew where Kentland, Indiana was. It's literally a blip. It takes forever to get there. You're on this road for so long. And if you were to, like, take a phone call, you'd totally miss it. Um, you would just drive right through it. But, they never would have imagined. And then later on that night is when they found out that it was actually her daughter. And she was the one that had to walk in those shoes and go through this and say goodbye. And then the hell starts to where the victims' families are now victims of the system. And here's the thing, and I'm sure they can agree. You have this dichotomy of we have laws, we have freedoms in America, and we have rights. And because I respect my rights and I want to keep my rights, we have to accept the rights of other people, and and that includes the justice system and how the amendments on that, and how we fairness, and those are all things that are very important. On the flip side of that, you have these victims' families and the judge did speak to this, and how it is unfair, and of these criminals, these perpetrators having seemingly more rights during this process than the victims' families or the victims. And that's one thing that made me kind of glad that she got this plea today. I know it's not that I mean, there isn't anything. I don't think a jury trial would have came out any different. And there's so many aspects to that until you really study it and learn about it. And I have a basic, and you're not going to get the proper justice that you think, because we're always going to think they deserve life or death. They deserve to die for what they did. And I believe in the death penalty. I don't believe in the appeal process that it takes to finally get the death penalty. And most of the time it's stayed. And that's the part that nobody realizes, is the hell that these families have to go through every time there is an appeal, every time there is a parole hearing. And all of this time has been wrapped up in these courts, and it's like you're stuck in this capsule of time where you can't really move on. And today was there's like light at the end of the tunnel for Nicole's family, and they're going to get to they can see the end. We still have Talitha that's coming up this month. There's still stuff to come for her. Is there anything wrong in the chat? But so today I'm driving there. I think I got on another sidetracked again, but I'm driving there and I get a text message from who I think is Catherine. And I don't have the number saved in my phone because, I'm just being lazy. And don't put numbers in, but it was like an area code that I didn't recognize. And there's only a few people that have my phone number. So I just assumed that it was Catherine. And so she was like, I think I can get you into court. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, yeah. I got to be kind of a reporter for the day. So she got me in and I was like telling everybody, I'm like, I don't know how Catherine's pulled this off from Canada, and I'm going on. And it's literally not until we're sitting at the restaurant that I realized that it's Open Secrets that's been texting me. And she's the one that pulled that off. And I should have known because that girl's got draft balls, like literally draft balls. But she called and talked to the prosecutor, and he was kind enough to oblige her and let me go in as what did he call me? Because he addressed me in court, and I was like, wow, Catherine, like, wow, like, what in the world? How did you do this? And hi, Amy. Thanks for coming. And so, yeah, that was my fault. But yeah, like, it was pretty cool that she was able to pull that off. But yeah, she just called the judge, and the judge answered, I guess, and they had a talk. And so when we're sitting there, and I got to go in, and they had us sitting in the jury box for COVID safety. And they did a great job of keeping everyone with the distancing because Newton County Courthouse is tiny. I mean, it is. I'm so proud of Nicole's family as they sit there, and Garett is ushered in and ushered out, and you can reach out and touch him. You could literally reach out and touch him. And so that's like how small it is. And so we're sitting up there, and at one point the judge like addresses us, and and he says reporters and an independent presser. I don't know what he said. I was just like, what is going on? It was so weird. But it was awesome, and I'll tell you what, I have a high respect for what they do. I am a terrible writer on paper. I'm dyslexic, so you can imagine my notes are pretty bad. I'm going to have to really decipher what I even say. But I tried, and mad respect to Gregory, who I got to meet today. He probably thought I was crazy because I was like, hi, Catherine told me to introduce myself to you. And he was like, who? And had no idea who that was because I didn't have the right person. And so I really confused him. But yeah, so a big shout out to Open Secrets for doing that. That was really cool. And I really appreciate that. And I know that her family does too. I do have a good memory, so usually what I lack in writing skills, I can make up for with memory. Once I get all my thoughts together. Oh, me too, Jasmine. There was his Ginger's son. I won't say his name. I don't know that I didn't ask permission, but he gave him one of the a drive-by. Bye. And one of the best parts too was the judge. And the way he said it, I think it was like, I don't know if I've made the song up in my head, but it was like straight to the DOC. Like, you're going to the DOC, buddy. Like, get ready because your life's about to blow up on you. You got it cushy up in this freaking Newton County jail, and you're about to go, and it's about to get real. And I think that is very true because if you remember when he was on, what was it? Sorry, my back is killing me today. Someone's messed with my chair too. My kids get in it and then they like adjust it and it's not right. Plus, I'm in the closet. I'm in my daughter's closet, so she's probably about over the store getting really upset. Oh yeah, right, radar. Ugh, they're so cringy. They're so cringy. And but yeah, he gave him the bird and he went on his way. But I really did like that about the judge. Like this dude, the judge, he reminds me of my dad. He's just a very genuine, like, he told him to drop the soap, bitch. Oh yeah, here crime. He's gained some weight for sure. But yeah, so we sit down and I'll kind of just go through my notes and see if I can read them. But when I walked in, I was coming up from the bathroom and he was basically walking like right behind me. I think I already said that earlier. And just that feeling of just like there's someone that like we know has killed people, just like walking behind me. He's all nonchalant. He had these big, thick, like, I don't know, looked like there's a serial killer that had glasses like that. It's probably Dennis Rader. I hate Dennis Rader. He's such a douchebag. I think he had glasses like that. It was like really thick and like, ugh. And he had a pair of those. And so he was wearing those. And of course, he had a mask on. It just looked like he just shaved his head, gained some more weight. And he was ushered in. The judge came in and it's started right away because this was just kind of a victim impact day to where they had already it was I don't want to say trying to find the right word for it was a chance for her family to speak and to have that on the record. And it's so good that they did because that will be a part of his record that will be seen by the parole board for whenever he becomes eligible for parole, which I really hope is. They did not specify that in court today. I tried to pull the affidavit and it was blocked. So that was a bit strange. And so was Ashley Garce, which those are public. So I don't know what that's about, but I was unable to get that because I wanted to see if it had anything about the plea in it and couldn't get it. So I want to know, it's usually for murder. It's not 2-to-1 or 1-to-1. It's usually, I think, like when I talked to Detective Rowe, he said normally like 85% is what's typical for the area anyway. I don't know if he was speaking just to Newton County or surrounding. Yeah, I believe he has to do 85% of his time. That's what I was thinking because that's what Detective Rowe had said a while back. But it can fluctuate. There are some states that it's 30% and they can be up for parole. Some 40, some 50, 60, 65. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I am pretty sure it's 85% though, which her boys, think about that, like how old her boys will be when he gets out, if he gets out on parole. So I'm really glad that they spoke and they have that on the record. And I'm really glad that no one spoke for him. His family, they were asked and they all were kind of like, what? Like, his whole side of the courtroom, including him, were stone cold throughout the whole thing. Like, they barely even made a blink. It was pretty strange. Even when he was being sentenced and they, he was getting ready to walk out, there was still no real expressions. Now, again, expression through the eyes is kind of tricky when your face is covered, when your mouth is covered. But with Garett, I was pretty close to him. And because, like I said, it's small. So I could really see his lack. And the judge said it best, he's callous. He just a callous little prick. And so Ginger goes first, and she did such a good job. I know she was so scared, and but when you get up there, I think that you have all these things you want to say, and sometimes they just don't come out. Sometimes there's other things that are getting in your way of it, and you can't concentrate, or you're just nervous and you want to get it right. But Ginger, you did so good, and I was going to read a couple parts of what she said. She wasn't taken by any act of God. You decided you wanted to take Nicole's life. That choice was yours and your cronies. And you taking her from us. You took her away from us through a senseless, cruel, human behavioral act that was sadistic. She was murdered by you, Garett. Nicole was a mother of 2 boys. Corbin was 8 years old, and Rai was 2.5. She was also a daughter, granddaughter, sister, aunt, niece, cousin, a friend to people that loved her. And now she has no chance ever to watch her boys grow into the men or to share the joys of growing with her family. No birthdays, no graduation, weddings, etc. ever. What gave you that right? And this part. I remember that Thursday before she was murdered very well. Nicole called me early that afternoon to talk to me and to ask if she could come stay with me. Like I told her, yes, you can stay. But I could tell that something was different. Something was wrong. She seemed nervous and maybe in a hurry to hang up. Very unusual for her. She has talked to me many, many times in her life, and anything that was going on, whether it was boyfriends needing to borrow something or just anything at all. But this day was different. She didn't have the bubbly voice or that kind of laughter. I asked if she was okay, and she answered, no, she answered. That wasn't like Nicole. She kept saying she would tell me later. I'll tell you later, Aunt Ginge. And that she wanted to talk about something later. I told her okay, but later never came. You said you're a soldier and how you are a man taking responsibility for what you did because the truth will set you free. But let's remember that your life, Garett, is between you and God. You have taken away Nicole from us, and we are the people that loved her for everything that she was. We are the people that are sentenced to life without our Nicole. My question to you, Garett, is why did she have to go? Why? What did she know? When I got the phone call from her mother that she was killed, it left me shocked. I didn't know what to say to Cheryl. I just couldn't believe what she told me. Why would you take her breath away? Why would you watch her die? Per your quote, you loved her. Why would you watch her die if, per your quote, you loved her? Oh, that's right. You loved her to death. And that was something that he said in his interviews with Open Secrets about Nicole. Are you kidding me? But he did, didn't he? He didn't love her at all, but... And then a couple things from Cheryl's. You took Nicole away from her two boys, ages 9 and 3. Corbin will have memories of listening to music, singing, dancing, watching movies, riding bikes, playing at the park, and picnics at the creek under the bridge by our house. Riley will never get to make those memories. Riley will only know his mommy through pictures and the stories. How do you tell a 3-year-old that his mommy is never coming home? I ask silently every day, why? Why did this have to happen? I believe you are a sick, troubled, evil little boy. You are a coward that must take other people's lives to make yourself feel like a big man. You were a part of taking Nicole away from us. Why would you willingly want to have a girl fight? Was Ashley jealous of Nicole? And then Cheryl proceeded to go into all the different things that he has claimed. First he claimed that it was a girl fight gone wrong, series of avoidance offense of Garett Kirts. And then it was, Nicole was with me, making it sound like they're out on a date or something. And when we went to pick up my clothes from there, Ashley's that started a fight. And then the third one, which he told to the courtroom, was that she had to go because she was going to turn them in for their meth dealings, which makes 0 sense. Cheryl doesn't buy it, and she followed up by saying, let me find it because I don't want to misquote it. She also laid out how many days it's been since her daughter's been gone. It's been 652 days. All the while, Garett, through most of Ginger's, he sat doing this. I'm looking at papers. He sat there like this, just like looking like his own attorney looked like he wanted to hit him under the table, of like, stop it. And so Ginger did make him look at her, and she showed him the pictures of where they left her, and that was pretty powerful, and he did look up. And then Cheryl, my girl, he was trying to do that to her, and she put up with it for just a little bit. And then she she got a little testy, and she, you know, Garett, at least I can't quote it, but the least you could do is look at me when I'm talking to you. I deserve that. Look at me, you piece of shit. And he nodded in agreement. And I was like, yeah, you should. I think it might have been just like a what would that be, like the opposite of a Freudian slip? But yeah, and so he did. They had a whole slideshow. They brought in physical pictures and a slideshow of Nicole and her family, and that there won't be another picture that they get to have with her in it. All the events go on, but they don't get to have her. Good night, Jason. And so, you know, she did say a life for a life, and that your family gets to have memories with you. They get to talk to you. And that's one of the things that's just like really unfair. And she'd said that is like, I wish that you didn't get to talk to your family. Why should you? And it's true. Why should she? Why should she? Why should he? And she mentioned that, you know, when she was mentioning that about the headstone, you know, she mentioned that all she gets to talk to is a headstone. And a little garden that they made for her, and listen to music and hear her voice in video and see her picture. That's all they get. That's all they'll ever get. How dare you play God with my child? You are yeah, I already said that part. And you could tell that that was the first time that I saw even a flicker of anything from him. And I do have to say, Ashley Garth, and this is just my opinion, as far as like, if you're going to judge like just I like to use the word evil all the time, but she's just straight up disgusting. I couldn't, I think that Mathis kind of read her right on that. She's just awful, but he's just as bad. It's, you know, just two psychopaths colliding in life, and these two victims had to pay the price for it. So then we go to, you know, that was pretty much the end of it. Garett didn't speak. His attorney, it really felt like the poor guy was just not even into it. Like, he seemed like he was, I don't know. I kind of felt bad for him that he even had to say anything. And what he did say was just, like really all he could say. But he said, this is a prime illustration of what drugs do to a community. And that they thought that this sentence was fair, and within the guidelines that they have set that they have to follow. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. I was going to ask what his demeanor was like. Yeah, I mean, just like he's always been, just callous and you know, he just doesn't seem to have any kind of real feeling. One point, they had a little sidebar, and, you know, they weren't appearing to hide the conversation from us. I mean, they knew we were sitting right there. And it was about the agreement that they had, and I'm assuming they had like stipulations of what he agreed to do, and that he was going to talk to other detectives and tell what he knew. And so far, that's resulted in a big fat nothing. And that does not surprise me at all, because it was probably all bullshit. They already know what he did to Ray Hainish, and they know they do have everything that Open Secrets has. So they have his confession, which he gave a confession on that call. So I'm hoping that it was the White County Sheriff's Office that was there, or investigators that were there questioning him, or my guess would be drugs, but it hadn't panned out yet, but it was still under investigation. So, but that was not a written part of his plea. And so that was all the judge was wanting, was to get that part in writing. It doesn't change anything. So he was sentenced to the 55 years in the DOC, and the judge was speaking, and he totally was just speaking from his heart. And there was three main things that he brought up that I thought were really key to just, he kept saying, for every human needs to look inward and realize like what part you play and be moved from that. And at one point he had said, he was talking about like what we wish could happen. And he said about to someone that kills our loved one, like what we wish could happen to them. And he'd said, can we put him in a chain gang a chain gang? And like that was the first, like that was the first time that Garett like he got scared for himself. And you could see it in his eyes. He was like, what did he just say to me, kind of a deal. And like that just kind of shows you that we're all right, and the judge was right, and Drinsky was right. This kid's a calloused, just he talked about when he was actually telling them what he did, and just the way that he said it all was just very nonchalant. And like he said, you could have been talking about gum on your shoe. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it's like that's how you acted. Like it was no more than you talking about something trivial. So he said there's I'm really struggling, because he was like, when he talked to us, he was like, and you have a right to like, you have a duty to report the truth and of what you hear, and not like put in your own opinion or whatever. So that's why I'm kind of struggling on what I have to say. And I was like, Gregory with Newsbug, like, I don't know if he's got like a freaking photographic memory, but he didn't hardly take any notes. And then when I read his article, I'm like, how in the world did he get this whole quote from the judge, like verbatim? I don't even know how he did that, but maybe he asked the judge for it. I don't know, but I would like to have that if that's a thing. See, I'm not a reporter. I'm not a journalist, so I don't know. I'm just a freelance, whatever. But That's where I'm kind of like, I just want to make sure that I get that right because it was really good. I mean, I thought so, Radar. I really did. When you have appeared in court, you brought her, to a party and for the sole purpose of cowardly plan to kill her. He did say that, and your callousness just in your tone of a voice. Thousands of people are dying and losing loved ones right now due to COVID. And we can only imagine what they're going through. And this was one. He said, Nicole left. I have to hope that Nicole left knowing that she meant something to someone. And by the way, that they've all conducted themselves, like her family, and how they thanked them and how encouraging they were to them of just their utter strength and ability to restrain themselves with these psychopaths and the way that they act. Oh, he was. Maybe that's what he did, because I would like to have that because it was really good. Oh, the things that people blame. He said drug use. It's not a victimless crime. And people blame drug use for their bad behavior. And they blame the system. And use it now, own it later. That's basically the civilization, the society that we're living in right now. The use it now, own it later. The blame the system, and the drug use is a side effect of the carnage and devastation of the lack of accountability. And he said, Mr. Kirts, your hours will slip by in a cage. The end. And now, the last thing we have, they're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're starting to see an end in sight. And now we're just beginning for Ray. And now is the time that we're going to find out. Push has come to shove. Mr. Prosecutor Robert Guy in White County. Push has come to shove. You said, well, we're going to wait. That's what you told. That's what you said. That's what you said to Dave Bangert. That's what you said to his family. Well, we waited, even though we know that we didn't have to, but we waited. And he's been sentenced. He's got 55 years. You know he won't serve 55 years. And so it's time. It's time to get the ball rolling for Ray Hainish and what he did to him. Please do something. It's their turn. And Cheryl and all of their family stands behind them 100%, and they will be there for them. And I will be there just as they have been there. They were all there today. And they have the bond that has come from this family, these two families. It literally just shows you the love that who their kids were and where they came from. And like this, they don't deserve their memory to be marred by anyone, including me, including any other true crime podcaster out there. They've gotten screwed over quite a bit by that. And I hope that quits, that stops. And they don't deserve to be jerked around anymore by anyone. And please sign the petition for Ray. Please sign it. That is what we can do, is get as many signatures as possible. Justice for Ray. I love seeing that. I love that you guys are all putting that in there. And Garett has been sentenced. He's off to the DOC, as the judge said. And boy, I'll tell you what, he's in for a wake-up call, because I kind of did some research on what Mathis was saying, and like sometimes maybe he would tell like a little bit of the truth, who knows. But he when he said that about the Dirty White Boys and how he had signed that letter, Dirty Love, well, yeah, that's a prison gang. And so I think that when he gets up in there, if they know about that, which they do have TVs, so they do seem to have computers as well, especially right now with COVID. I'm not sure at the DOC, but if he goes up in there acting like that, yeah, he's probably going to end up being somebody's bitch. What the judge said, it might actually happen. And he's got a huge wake-up call. And you got to think this kid's only 23. And I have no doubt that he is a triple murderer. No one's going to convince me. I know I keep saying it over and over, and I'm trying. I had a friend that's helping me try to figure out how to do what's it called? A NIOR. I can't say it right, but request for his case files for Stephen Masterson, but they got in a fight on Facebook within weeks. It might not even have been weeks before. And just the person that Garett is, I have no doubt he was behind him. He admits all of this on his Facebook, that he was behind him in his car, in his truck. They just gotten in a fight. Stephen had called him out for his bullshit and said, basically, grow up. Like, this is why you have no one in your life anymore. You get on here and you're just all like, grow up. This is why I don't talk to you anymore. Because Garett claimed every year after he died how he lost his best friend and blah, 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 wrote songs about him or whatever. But right before he died, he was saying, fuck you. And so you can't tell me that Stephen Masterson on a moped that probably doesn't go any more than 35 miles an hour is going down a little hill, and there's like a grassy knoll, and he dies from just like, no. I guarantee you that he pushed that over. He ran into him, and then he says that he sat there with him. And so maybe there'll be an open investigation on that, and he will go to prison for life or the death penalty, because that's 3. And the aggravating circumstances of Nicole's case, which he's already been sentenced to, should be able to be used in court if they were to do anything in White County for Ray. I have a feeling that it's going to be a tough road to hoe. And if there's anyone that anyone knows, please have them reach out to me or share, or Roxy or Dottie, the Facebook group. I don't care where, just get a hold of one of us. But wrongful death suits, if they were going to see any kind of form of justice, if they don't move, they only have 2 years. So they have till March 17th of this year to do something, if that's what they decide to do. And so I I'm worried that they're not going to do anything. I mean, you heard just the lack of care out of there, and so we really just need to get that petition rolling. We need to keep on that, try to figure out this stuff with Stephen Masterson, because those are all aggravating. I mean, that shows because the thing with his charge in January, that happened in January, so that was dismissed, though. I don't know if you guys all saw that. It's been dismissed. Can't help but wonder if that has anything to do with this Fouts mess. Geesh, like, what does that guy, like, go? Like, why is he still even in the freaking courts defending people now? What? Why would anyone want him as his lawyer? I'm sorry, but that's just the cold fucking truth. Makes you really wonder what's really going on. And, but there's like, that's what we got to do. We have to be, yeah, we do. We need to sign that petition and get Ray justice. 2021 justice for Ray. Hey, Chris. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't see that he would be considered. I don't think he's bright either. I think he is, just like Cheryl said. He's just a little boy. He's a little boy. Oh, Fouts is out. Well, that's good. That's really good news. I hope that he is. I recorded that and I watched it a few times and slowed it down and looked at all those messages, and it's pretty disgusting. And I don't think it was forged or fake. I couldn't believe, and I know that there was 2 papers written about him. One was, accolades and he's retiring. And then one was not that at all. It was the truth. It was the cold truth about what happened. And what is going on here. And so you kind of got to wonder what's the fallout going to be, because when judges act corrupt, the thing that makes me so angry with that, of when you go to swear in to be a judge, to be a prosecutor, you need to be above reproach, because there are victims' families out there that are counting on you to be above reproach, because cases can get thrown out when you act a fool. And when you do things that go against the laws and regulations and the legislations and the codes of Indiana law and everywhere else. And the fact that the same thing happens with police officers and the like, you have to be above reproach. That's what you signed up for. And it cannot be easy. It cannot be easy. It's got to be the most tiring, just sad job sometimes. I've been listening to the IMPD scanners. I'm like, it must be a calling. It has to be. Otherwise, the things that they see. Haley probably went to bed, but I've been listening to that for Nicole Kelly, and it was a mess, because I thought it would be really easy to find that broadcast about that, but it wasn't at all, because there was another missing or welfare check that night for another little boy in the same exact apartment complex. So there's 2 families there, and I'm messaging her and I'm like, did you go there? And she's like, no. I'm like, what is happening? So it was 2 separate child welfare checks. One family showed up, but Haley never knew. And so it's just crazy. There's DOAs every night. There's crime scene units being called. There's wagons. There's shots fired. It's insane that what they have to see every day. And to not become a little bit corrupt has got to be so hard. But a judge, no, it don't have to be so hard for you to stay moral. And when you take that seat, you are taking an oath, and when you don't do what's right and you risk people being out on technicalities like that, that shit pisses me off. I'll get off my soapbox. Does anyone want to come chat? Yeah. They are bringing a special prosecutor to Carroll County. There are criminal charges right now. You send that to me. Power shouldn't give protection from laws made for all. He won't be that impaired. He's nothing but a pussy. No. Yeah, that's the cold truth of it. Like, he wants to act. Did you see what I did there? Yeah, that Roger, yeah, that little boy comment. I'm going back through comments because I'm terrible at live chats. That's why I don't do them, because I suck at it, and I feel like I let y'all down every time I do one. And I notice that, like, people leave because I think it's just because I'm not good at it and I don't know how to, like, engage properly. I'm going to try to work on it. Yeah, she believes it too. We all do. About Stephen Masterson. It's Jasmine too. I mean, it's not rocket science to go, and it's not Hickams Dicum either. I'll probably get criticized for, some kind of conspiracy, but when you really look at it, it's Occam's razor. It's Hickams Dicum to think that he just drove on, like he was just behind him. No. It's totally Occam's razor to think that he definitely had something to do with it. And that was one of the questions that I asked Open Secrets to ask him about. And while she didn't tell me, like, his response, she just said that it threw him when she asked that, like, he was thrown by that. Angie does such a good job with chats, and I noticed that she's gone. She's not even been in here. Oh, I hope everything's okay. Yeah. My cousin is in prison, and that bunch grabbed him and beat the hell out of him, nearly killed him. He had to go to Vanderbilt and have medical plates put in his head. And he's just there on VOP. Whoa. Whoa. I'm sorry for your cousin, though. That really sucks. Right. Ginger, you gonna call in? And had to go early. Can't remember why though. Cases for the cases pantry. Not sure why. Send me the information on Stevens Masterson. I shall. Yeah, he totally did. We were just looking at that last night. He totally did. Yeah. You're gonna start hearing a lot more about it. I always just kind of bring it up as I'm bringing up other things, because it's just my claim. I don't know. I could probably get in trouble for it. Who knows? But Ginger said she'd call in. Okay, I'm gonna send her an invite to temporarily not working, of course, to your email, hopefully. Ginger, send me an email to coldtruthpodcast@gmail.com. I don't have your email. I don't know why. I swore I have it somewhere. Hmm. Sorry, guys. I don't know how. My thing is broke, and so I can't clip it. I can't clipboard it because I don't know how to copy and paste it without the little thingy. I don't know how to do it, and it doesn't seem to want to copy or paste anywhere. And I don't have your email. I didn't send it. I don't have your email. Can you send me an email to coldtruthpodcast@gmail.com so that I have your email? Hi there. I found this channel from Jason's. I truly hope that someone can provide more help in your case. If I wasn't stuck in Vic, Australia, I'd be doing more than internet sleuthing for you. Oh, thank you so much. He is wonderful. He's such a genuine guy, and I know that Cher and her family, they so appreciate him, and I'm glad that you came over here from them. It's an honor because he is truly great at what he does. And I do the same thing, but on the podcast, I do interviews on there. And when I don't, I don't like it. I like to do interviews with families, and that's how I know all of these wonderful families. But for some reason on YouTube, I don't. I don't know why that is, but I don't really care for YouTube. I like the podcast world better. I've met a lot of really cool people and good friends over there, and a lot of really good podcasts. And for me, I can like put them on and clean my house or be the ADHD person that I am. But yeah, Jason is a really great guy. It just exude like it. It just is. He's doing such good things, and I'm honored to get it that I got to be on a show, and I'm honored to get to be a part of that and watch that grow. And if y'all are not on there, definitely go check out Jason Hebert. A great guy with a good heart. And I'm excited to where he goes. And I think it's going to just start blowing up from here. And keep him in your thoughts too. It's not easy. You become attached to these families, and they become your families, and it's hard to. I heard him talking about that the other night, and I can totally relate um, to that. Just the you have to at some point you have to kind of you want to do and do and do, but if you don't take care of you, you can't do anything. I did get it, so I'm getting ready to send it. Why does when you get I have an iPhone, and when you do like a update, they decide to take it upon themselves to move all of your apps. Does anybody else have this problem? Oh, it's devastating. Okay, it's being sent. Okay, you should have got it. What are we talking about? It's top 10 in true crime in my list of top 10 true crime YouTubers. Yeah, he's really good. I'm not that great at it, but I'm gonna try. What are you gonna call into, Watcher? Oh, Jason's. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Um and that's the thing too, is I'm a true crime podcaster and YouTube fan, and so I like the other night when the trail went cold, joined myself and CJ on Get Vocal, I was like, I hope I didn't look all geeked out and like weird, because I've been listening to The Trail Went Cold for, gosh, I think he has like 200 episodes. And so like I was like, oh my gosh, like I've like all fanned out, and I'm sure, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what would happen to me if I met Jack Luna. Like I love him. I absolutely love him. I think I've been listening to him for years, and he's amazing. He's like my crime crush. And then I'd be like, but yeah, I like this stuff. And here is my girl.
I'm
Hello.
like, wait a minute, I had to check this shit out for work at first. I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong? You gotta remember, I haven't slept.
I know, right? Neither one of us. Look, my eyes are like getting like more squinty the longer I'm on here. And it's so cold in this damn closet. It's freezing in this closet. I'm glad you came back, Jason.
So,
well, thank you.
I'm here, Garett. I'm here, everyone.
You're here. How are you?
I'm drained, but
right.
I kind of feel like today, I feel like Nicole's kind of happy with what happened today. That's my biggest thing. It's weighed on me, because I've talked to you. Because basically, I was the last person that talked to Nicole.
Yeah.
So that's weighed on my heart, like way heavy, just out of this world. So.
Yeah.
Cheryl,
you got to
she's
tell him that today.
Yeah. So it was rough, but what really aggravated me is he didn't want to look at us.
Right.
And that's why I kept addressing him and saying his name.
Done?
Huh?
So what have I done?
Right.
I've done something with the computer.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how to take the comments down, so I was like...
Well, I can't even see them, so it's probably a good thing.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I can. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay, I'm not going to touch anything because I did this shit before.
Right? Me and you are really great at this, I'll tell you what.
We suck, Mel, at this.
The last one that we did together, I had to put it on private because it was a hot mess.
Yes.
We were a total hot mess, and I literally felt so bad for you. I felt like I needed to put it out as like a COVID warning live, because you were so sick and you were just literally like, it sounded like you were gonna pass out on me at any moment. You tried your best though.
Well, I'm celebrating with my Xanax because it's been really rough.
It's been a day. It's been a long day. I can't imagine.
When
it was long for me.
Oh, yes.
I can't imagine how long it was for you.
Well, when Nicole's sister broke it down into the hour or the days that we've been waiting on this, I thought, wow, me and Brittany were on the kind of like the same page, because I broke down 45 years into seconds for him.
You did. You got it down to trillions.
I did. I'm like, I'm doing great, because when I first put that down, I'm like, boy, that's a lot of time in there. Tick-tock away, baby. Here you go. But when she broke it down to the hours or the days that we've been waiting, wow, was that something? So
yeah,
I kind of feel
2 days.
Right. That's a lot.
I can't believe that it feels like, that like like it feels like it's been that long, but yet it doesn't. It's like how COVID, it felt like so long, but then it was like, wow, where did this year go?
Right,
Um,
right.
but yeah, like 652 days is what it took to finally see this day come. And
I
all that we've been through, like, you guys have been such troopers. I don't know how you don't just like
You
tell
don't know
people.
how bad I wanted to just go when I noticed him first not looking at me. When I was sitting there looking right at him, telling him this speech. You don't know. Of course, I took a couple Xanax before we went. So I've had a few Xanax today, and I still haven't fell asleep, guys. But I just can't believe how he was sitting there basically just not paying attention. And it was really starting to piss me off. And that's why, I mean, he made me lose track of my own speech.
Yeah, I
And
noticed
then
that.
that's why I just started just talking. The paper was in front of me, but it wasn't doing me any good because he was pissing me off. I
Right.
wanted to just, I had envisions last night in this whatever, maybe 20 minutes sleep nap I took, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But of me jumping over and just grabbing a hold of him and making him look me right in the eye as I was talking to him.
Right.
Because the way that these people, Mel knows, Radar's been there. I mean, there's been people that's been in this courtroom that know how these people are with us. Cher knows, Roxanne knows, Dottie knows. They know how cruel, just, they show no remorse, nothing, nothing.
Yeah. No, they don't.
And today, I know after him getting this sentence, even though I don't agree with it, I think if you take a life, you should do life. And
Yeah.
lethal injection, no, that's a pussy way out. I'm sorry. So, no, I'm not good with that. I'm not good with lethal injection at all because that's the easy way out.
Hmm.
So, I know we're taxpayers. We pay for them to have 3 squares a meal, and 3 meals a day. They got a cot, but they're the ones that's got to live with these other prisoners that's either at their level or even worse.
Right.
So, if he bends over, Bubba's going to get some ass, okay? Because he got a big ass.
Did you hear the judge say that too? I know
Yes.
you couldn't see Garrett's face when he said that, but he was like literally like, what? Like he like, did he just say that? Like he probably, I
Yes.
could just see it in his mind of thinking like, oh my God, the judge knows what I'm getting ready to go in for. And he just said it in the courtroom.
Right, right.
He is such a cool dude. Like he's the most down to earth, calming judge. I was talking about that with Open Secrets of just like how calming
He's
he
the
is.
best.
He's really great. And he's so on everyone's level. Like he doesn't, I don't think he has like a judgmental bone in his body, you know?
No.
Like he doesn't, and he even said something about that. Like it doesn't matter where you are in life. Like if you don't deserve to die, and it doesn't matter where you fit on that.
Nope.
You are, if you commit a crime, this person down here is no better than this person up here.
That's right. That's
It's like
right.
he's just really great. And I've
Eh,
enjoyed being in there. And I think he brings that atmosphere because it's like a combustible, just like waiting to happen with these victims' families and these perpetrators and the vibes that they put off. And then you got this judge that kind of just like, okay.
Yep. Yep. He's
You
kind of
know?
soothing, but yet he's very to the point. I mean, he knows his job, and he doesn't play favorites, and I mean, he's a very fair judge.
Mhm.
He's been good to us, and I mean, it made me feel good. I mean, even after my long speech and Cheryl's long speech, that he even had a long speech himself.
Yeah.
And in the way that he runs his courtroom and how he is fair, he, if we had more judges like that, I think things would be a lot different. But you
Yeah.
know, you ain't gonna find a whole lot of those because there's a lot of dirty ones out there too. So,
Yeah. There sure are.
and
But
he's really done my family really well.
he has. He's so thoughtful. That's one thing I noticed is he's always like checking in. And you know how I felt about Drinsky all this time. Like I'm not a big fan. But the
Yeah.
more I've watched this process, and you have to have those analytical minds, because let's face it,
Mhm.
that's what he is. He's an analytical, just almost what kind of job, like I'm thinking of, like relatable to us, since we don't live in that world that they live in, of just
Right.
conveyor belt. Like, this is what you've got to do, and you have to keep emotions at have to hold those back. And I'm sure he has those times, but like with his job, and I read, and the judge said today about the 15 murder cases that he's presided over, and the one of those that had to have been just before this one was very similar. Like I read,
Yes.
because it was appealed. Remember, I think I sent it to you,
Mhm.
that
Yep.
Drinsky and um, they both were presiding over that, and it went through appeals, and that conviction stood up, and the case was very similar in nature to Nicole's. And
Right.
so that gave me so much confidence in them, and you can just tell that Drinsky is hella smart,
Yeah.
um, but
Yeah.
very practical. And I think that's what hurt along the way, is the practicality. Would you
Right.
think?
I
Does that
agree with
does
that.
that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Because I mean, he had to keep some stuff from us
yeah,
in order to get to where we got today.
right,
Yes, we was angry a lot.
right.
And we couldn't understand why he was doing what he was doing, but yet he couldn't share it with us in order to keep doing what he was doing, I guess. And yeah, I didn't like him at first neither.
Right. Yeah,
And
we
I
had,
kept telling Cheryl, we need a new freaking lawyer or something.
and that's
And
just, we don't know what they know. We don't know what they're up against, and I have to apologize because I wasn't very nice about him in some of my writings. He probably never read them, but still the same. If I'll have trouble sleeping at night, not saying it out somewhere. I think that,
I think he would understand, though.
yeah, I think that they go up against that all the time
Yeah.
because they can't. I can't imagine.
They can't, yeah, they can't sit there and derive to us what they've been told. They can't go and tell you everything they know until it does come down to the sentencing. And that's what I really liked about the judge today,
Mhm.
because he did tell us some stuff that Garett himself testified,
Right.
and told. We didn't know some of that stuff, so it's like, really, I'm
True.
sitting there thinking,
Right. Yeah.
and that's what I liked about it, because, like I told Cheryl, we know a little more, you know. And when
Right.
he said, when the judge himself said that, you know, the prior weeks to this, he's not an idiot. He knows what's going on. I mean, there's something more to this, whether it
Mm.
be the drug ring, whether it be Ray, because I feel in my heart it's Ray that led to why Nicole's
Oh,
not with us. You know, I
well, and
believe in,
even before that, Ginger, they all had warrants out.
yes,
And that's a part of the system that I understand why it's there, but I also hate it. This fair
right,
bond thing. It's bullshit when it comes to these violent offenders getting out over and over again. I mean, like their bail's like $250, $500. Somebody gives it to them because they don't have it, but somebody gives it to them, and then they just get out, and like they all had warrants, and none of these were all preventable if they had been in jail. Like,
exactly, exactly. Yes, I totally feel that if they would have done their job, Nicole would still be here.
yeah,
Because I really feel, I don't believe, like I said, I call that bullshit. Don't tell me it's about just damn drug green. I call bullshit on that story, period. You know, I believe she was going to tell me, or her sister wholeheartedly, that he had something to do with Ray's death.
yeah,
And she might have told me about other things. I don't know. If only later
yeah,
would have came and she would have got here.
right,
You know, that's the hardest thing. And that's what I told Cheryl. This is the hardest thing for me ever because I did talk to her the last. So,
right,
and I begged her. I did. I told her, Nicole, you can come over here. You know that, you know. And she just couldn't she couldn't talk long. There was something wrong with it. And I knew there was something wrong.
yeah,
Nicole used to talk just like me, Mel, all the time. Blah, 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 you know?
yeah,
So I wasn't used to that short conversation with her, so I knew something was up.
right.
So
When
Nicole wasn't just Cheryl's baby, she was kind of everybody's baby.
right.
So, you know,
And you could see that in your son and you, and he's been there. I don't think I've not seen
he
him.
was with Nicole a week before this. Yeah,
Right.
my son
And
was.
they were close, like I'm close with my cousins, and I can
Yes.
see that with you guys. And I know that, like, that's what makes you guys also special. And then your guys' relationship with Miss Dottie and Roxy and Cher and their family has
They're
just been,
family. You're all family. You're our family now.
yeah,
You've been our rock. You. Me and you talked way before all this. Way before all this.
yeah,
I did drag you into my life and our families. I did. I needed somebody and you were there for me. And you've helped my family and now we're going to help Dottie's family.
amen. We are.
So, we're behind Dottie and everybody.
Absolutely. 110.
So, and I'm going to make everybody cry. But
Yeah.
um I never had this many sisters, but now I do.
Right? Can I show our pictures from today?
Yes.
You want to
Yes.
see?
Yeah.
You guys want to see us? I got all my. Can you sing that song for us? I got all my sisters with me.
I used to. That's what hurts me because me and Nicole went and did. Me and her used to go and do the karaoke too, and my son just went a week before, and I'll be damned, you know. Him and his woman, you know, at the time. I mean, because she passed away, of course. And Nicole, they all went out and did some karaoke too. So, I mean, we've got our memories, but like I told Garett, you know, her kids are not going to have those kind of memories. Corbin will have 8 years worth of memories. That's it. Rai will never have all that. Never.
Right.
They stole Nicole away from our family, period.
What
So
have I done? Well, are you there?
I am.
Oh, Lord, I'm so terrible at computers. Literally. Here we go.
I can't get on them right and shit. I told you. I
Post
just
me
got
and
this damn
share.
phone and I was lost.
She's so cute. And then here we all are.
That's our
And
family.
couldn't get a picture where everybody had their eyes open and weren't doing something silly. So that one you had your eyes closed. So I made it
I
bigger.
did in one of them. I don't.
You did. There was one of them was like really, really cute. That one, I don't know what we're all doing. We all look scared. We all look a little bit frightened.
It was
Not
probably for my
sure.
son. He
There
scared
we
us
go. Oh,
all.
no. Dottie's scared in that one. That's not it. There we go. How pretty is that? And that restaurant was great.
Oh my God, they're so
We're
nice.
so accommodating for such a big group. And
Oh yeah. Well, Cheryl reserved it for only like 12 or 13 people, but there was more than that there.
right, yeah. It was big. And there's the two families. There's Roxy and Cher with her when she had longer hair. And the whole group, they come all the time.
It hurts my daughter a lot
Yeah, I
to
know.
not have Nicole around. So,
These are the pictures that you shared in court.
yep.
That
Those
was,
are the ones that I made Garett look at.
you made him look at them.
I said, "Do you remember this place?"
Yeah. Yeah. Made him. It was good.
They didn't think that anybody would find her. I don't think. But yet he claims
Mhm.
that he did that so somebody would find her.
Right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Martin Luther King Jr. And that's how I think we should all feel moving forward and where we're going. And this little boy right here, he is so precious, so smart.
Oh, he's
And
highly intelligent, the little turd. I
oh
love
my
him.
goodness. Like
I
he's
love
just
him so much.
he's like he's an old soul is what he is. He's an old soul. And he's just a beautiful person. And I am in awe of your family and like Cheryl and Mark. And just now raising these boys and all that they've been through, and yet these boys are flourishing, and I think it says a lot to how strong she is.
Oh
Just
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get dark for a minute. Hold on. I can't. I don't smoke in my house, people. I always go out and suffer in my garage.
Right.
But there we go. And but yeah,
Right.
you
And
know,
there they are
and
together.
that's the thing. I don't know if you've seen what I wrote up there earlier, Mel, but on our way there, Corbin had me and my son play Nicole's songs.
Oh, he did.
And me and my son was just tearing, just absolutely tearing. And Corbin was back there in the back seat just singing the song. So
Yeah.
it, because I told Cheryl, I said, I don't know. I said, Corbin had us play his mommy's song of the broken halo.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
my son's got Bluetooth in his car, so we played it in the
right.
car on the way there. So I just love those kids that, so much. They've been through so much, and they know crazy Aunt Ginger. I'm there for them. They know that. So, because every time I go out, the Cheryl's Rye's up in the window, Aunt Ginger, So I'm like,
Yeah.
you little stinker butt.
Yeah. He's so cute though. He's just a sweet little boy. And I'm
Oh
excited to
yeah,
finally I was excited to finally meet him in person instead of just like on a call. And I'm excited to meet Rai and I'm excited to go to the lake. So
yes,
Dottie, I better be getting my invite.
mine too. I'm coming fishing, and
Yeah,
she can
like
make me one of those
absolutely.
hamburgers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try one of her special hamburgers. Hope she puts something special on them.
Right,
I
right,
absolutely
yeah,
love that Martin Luther King quote. People don't realize how much injustice there actually is in this world until it happens to you. Truth,
very true.
right?
Yep.
It's so true. Um, it's so true. And I keep chickening out, but I know my um my my friend, and that's supposed to be next. As far as where I was gonna go and like what I was gonna do next, because um that's why I get so passionate about and making sure that you guys had those on the record and that they are going to be turned into the parole board, and they're how important they are and that they can play a role in keeping these bastards where they belong. And I hope
Well,
that
if I'm 80, I'm showing up. I don't care.
right, and I will be there when Joe comes up for
Right.
parole here very soon. And somebody's going to tell the truth. So it might as well be me, even though I'm scared shitless. That's my next big adventure, or not adventure at all. My big venture is to cover that, because what Louis is saying here, I hope I'm saying that right. Louis' perspective. You don't when you actually face this, just is despicable. Some of the things that these victimizers get to do all over again, and so I want to tell her story and keep Joe be it where he belongs. And
Yes.
but man, it's going to be hard because it makes me so mad. And I'm so glad that you guys have that. And I'm so glad that no one spoke for him. I think that says a lot. It says a lot about a person when you have a 23-year-old kid and not even his own family will get up and like put something on the record for him.
I couldn't believe it. I
I
couldn't believe
couldn't either.
nobody.
I don't think anybody there, like, I think,
They just listened to us. That's it.
yeah, like, I think that his attorney and like everybody was surprised that no one spoke. And I don't know about you, but it didn't seem like his attorney really even prepared that much. Like his heart didn't even seem in it at all. And so that'll be reflected in the record as well, you know?
Right,
Like,
right. Well, didn't he have Cody Spear? Or wasn't he the one that got in trouble with Matheson or Matt? Yeah, Christopher.
thank you, Louie, and have a good night.
I'm not sure, but I thought he was the one that was getting in trouble.
Everybody's saying bye.
Bye, guys.
With the other jerks involved. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is good news too. I know I told Cheryl, but what? Oh my word! I need to go to bed. Christopher Mathis. I'm not mad that I forgot his freaking name at all, though. Like, really, I mean, that would be great if I could forget all of their names. But he, well, I totally lost my train of thought.
He
Let me
got
read
in
it
trouble
again.
again.
Oh yeah, he is now, but they upped his charges to
Yes.
trafficking to an inmate.
Yep.
So I cannot see that that's a sad fact. That's sad that you're going to get more time for that than you are for assisting a murderer when like I don't understand that. Yes, they do. Yeah, right. Yes.
It's funny. If you ask me,
But yeah, like he wasn't even out, what, 6 days? Like, what an idiot. And then as he's on there talking to open secrets, he's like all making it. I think he must thought she was hot or something. Like he was like trying to impress her so bad and was like, well, it's amazing what meth will teach you and how. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He was like acting like meth's made him some kind of a computer whiz and like smarter.
Oh yeah, that was weird. I'm
6
like, really,
days,
dude?
buddy. You made it out 6 days, and then for him to yell at you or to, like, get mad at you, I was like, "How dare him?" I was so mad. Like, that was really bullshit. When he
He
was
got
like,
mad at me.
well, it was either Cheryl was like, "Oh, I can't."
He was mad
They
at
didn't need
Cheryl.
they didn't need to say that. They didn't need to say that. Like, my kids are gonna listen to that. And, like,
That's
she
why
was
I
just a little.
slapped him back with that. That's why when we were in court and I gave my speech, he didn't like me because I used every word he said about my
Against.
sister and I put it back on him and I said, I'm here to just support my sister. And I
Right.
don't care if you like what she had to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was just,
Because you know what? The whole thing is,
who
say
does
what
that?
it's not that I don't care about his kids. I feel sorry for his
That's
kids.
true. I do too.
But
I do.
the whole
Yeah.
fact is, you're worried about your kids. Well, what about Nicole's kids when they get older and they read
Right.
this stuff on the internet? So, how dare you? How dare you
Right.
even even complain about my sister like that? I'm gonna put this in your ass, buddy. So I did, I used his own words back on him.
Good. And that was the brilliant thing I've gotten to see that's came out of. I know that those were with the video, the sequence of interviews released by Open Seekers. That was really hard for you guys to watch, or as they were coming out. But yet you were able to pull
I
for
deciphered them
pull for your
verbatim,
victim
buddy.
impact statements,
I
their
did.
own words, and nobody hardly ever gets that opportunity to insert things like that. Like, I don't, has this ever happened before?
I don't
Like, is
know.
there another case where from jail, they, like, got on and I mean, I'm sure it is, but just, like, it was just so bizarre. Like, so bizarre to me that they are that dumb that they got on and did series of interviews. Like, she has a ton that she hasn't even released,
I
and,
know.
like, I appreciate that of her. Like,
Well, I'd like her to
which actually, oh
release a
my
few
goodness,
more.
She's on right now, I think. Is it 10?
Right.
It's 11 o'clock. It's 11:10. I thought it was 10. I think it was like 10:15.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That's probably where everybody's at. They're on hers now.
no, I never have very many people here.
Yeah, that's
Um,
why I used and I deciphered. And when Cheryl heard me tell Matt this, Christopher, about what he said, and I turned it back on him, he just sat there and looked at me like, oh my God, she got that from that podcast. I know she did.
yeah.
And
Um,
that's the same way with that was the same way with Garrett saying how he was a soldier, and because he told her the same thing,
yeah.
and how he was
And
brought
the
up the right way.
loved her to death part,
Yeah, yeah,
all of it, like, makes it because I could just see that, like, a parole board, hopefully, they read it, but like, "What is this?" And then they get on YouTube and they go to find those, and they're like, "We're never gonna let these fuckers out." Sorry, I said fuckers, but
exactly.
I don't care, they are. And, like, um, yeah,
Nope.
like, I hope that that's what happens. They're like, maybe we could get, Chris from Interface with the Indiana State Police because it always says Chris from Interface. Maybe we could call Chris up if he has a phone
Right.
number. We would like to call you, and we would like to add Open Secrets YouTube channel into the court documents that will be saved for the parole board. Please
There you
send me
go.
your phone number, Chris. I feel like I know Chris. I've looked into Chris for like a week and a half for Cheryl trying to see what that was, you know?
Right.
Um, yeah, oh, I do have 20 great people. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
And but yeah, it was I need to my little one just dislocated her knee. So you got this for a second?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Radar. I agree. Maybe we should start calling jailbirds. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll start. I don't know, talking to, telling a little bit more than kind of like these Dinalines have. These these people. When Open Secrets did their when she did her interviews with them, I kind of sat and I did nothing but watch these over and over. And all I did was basically I deciphered it and pulled out the powerful stuff. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to pull out the powerful stuff that they said themselves so I could turn it around and make them eat their own stuff. I just when they said certain things like, like him being a dirty white boy, and he was a soldier for Garrett, he's sitting there saying all this stuff, and then Christopher saying how, you know, he was an imperial gangster and all this stuff, and you know these little boys have no idea, because when they do get to the big house, I don't think they're going to make it. I mean, they're just going to have to change or blend in, or I'm not real sure, but they're going to have to not drop the soap because they will be somebody's little buddy. So now I don't know. I can't change the chat. Let me see. No, I can't do that. No, I can't. I can't. So, but anyway, this was like me and Cheryl, we worked so hard on our speeches. Cheryl was more prepared this time with Garett. I really had a hard time with Garett because with him sitting there, he was different than Christopher. Christopher looked at us and he took, that into maybe, he thought about it. Let's just say that maybe. But when we were talking to Garett, he didn't even want to look up. So it really, as I was reading my speech, the more I was looking at him, the more aggravating I was getting with him because he wasn't giving me his undivided attention, and that's all I wanted, because I didn't really care about the whole courtroom hearing. I wanted him to hear me and to pay attention to me while I was giving my speech to him. And he didn't want to be there for that. And I don't know, I just couldn't handle that he wasn't paying attention. And that's why I forced him when I showed him pictures, because I addressed him, I don't know how many times. I would bring his name up several times. But finally, I got through to him, I felt like, when I told him to look at the pictures of the shack where they left my niece. That hurt me more than anything, of knowing where they put her body. I mean, it was bad enough how they killed her. And to pull an extension cord so hard that it ripped the end off. And then Ashley beating on my niece after they had her taped up, zip tied, in a bag with a plastic bag over her head and wrapped into a blanket, and then just threw her out like she was trash and left her out there. That's what hurt me more than anything. Just knowing that they left her out there, and the assholes didn't think that she would be found, but yet Garett claimed he left her there so she could be found. So that hurt me more than anything, just knowing that they did that and left her there. Not only was that what hurt me the most, but when I have my sister call me up at 9 o'clock at night, or 9:30, if I remember right, to let me know that was my niece that died and that was brutally murdered, I couldn't accept it. I was in total shock. And I told Cheryl, no, I just talked to her. So, I mean, we all have struggles with our kids. We have arguments with them and stuff like that. And like I told them in the courtroom, she didn't share everything with her mom. She didn't share everything with her grandma. But I'm her crazy aunt. So she knew that she could come to me and she knew she could talk to me. And I got robbed. I got robbed because I feel like I did because I really waited up for her to come here that night and they took her away. So that was the hardest thing.
Well,
Mel?
hell broke loose.
Well, no, but I can't never see anybody's chat, so I don't
Oh,
know
you
if anybody's
can?
been talking to me. I've been just talking and rambling on.
Oh, well,
So,
thanks. Sorry, I was gone a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go.
okay.
A little
But at
one.
least these people know, kind of how it was. I feel a little, I feel a little better. I feel a little justice has been done today.
I
And
do
I
too.
feel like Nicole is happy with what me and her mom did today. So,
I do too. Yeah, I think.
oh, he'll have flashbacks. I can guarantee. And if he doesn't, Bobby, if he doesn't remember exactly what he did, then I don't know what to think about it. Because how can you do something like that and not think about what he did, how he did it? That guy didn't even have. He went to sell my niece's car the next day. I mean, he had no remorse, but how could you go to bed at night and not have bad dreams about it? I hope he does. I hope he's haunted for the rest of his fucking life. Sorry. So
Right.
it is
Me.
what it is. So
Yeah.
sorry, I
No.
used the F bomb.
I do need to go. My little one's. Well, she's not little anymore. Always call her my little one, but she's just my youngest. She's
She's your baby.
almost 16 now. Crazy. I have a college student and a
Baby.
16-year-old. So fun. But no, she dislocated her knee, I guess, while I was doing this, and it is turning black and blue, and it's not looking real good. So I put some ice packs on it, and it is what it is. If I, I feel she's such a strong little kid, so
She
strong.
is.
But I need to go be my daughter's mom and take care of her. So I'm gonna have to end this for tonight. But I love you, and I really appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. Um, And yes, Jasmine, their purpose in life is disrespect, and we've had enough of it. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that whatever Ashley Garth,
I can't
um,
wait for that one.
it sounds like there's negotiations for a plea. Um, it's probably better. Um, but I can't imagine that she's going to be because I don't know. I don't know if it's just like my I don't know, but I don't do
You think they're
you?
going to drop it
When
all in one charge?
it better not be assisting a criminal. But right now she's charged with murder intentional killing of another, and explain that for
Conspiracy.
anyone that doesn't live in Indiana. Indiana doesn't have like first, second, third degree murder. We have murder, intentional murder. And then we have manslaughter, involuntary, voluntary, aggravated, and it goes like that. A lot of other states don't. Theirs is different. They have like first degree murder, second degree murder, third degree murder. We don't have that here. We have murder. And then we have
Conspiracy.
and she is charged with conspiracy to commit murder, which is premeditated murder, and then assisting a criminal still. So hopefully her plea deal is similar to that of Garett's, because from today it does seem that they feel she is just as culpable, if not more, almost, than him. And I'm telling you, like, I don't know what it is about her, but like the energy or whatever you want to call it, the bad juju, whatever you want to name it, it's bad. Like, it's bad. It just like stinks up everything. Like everywhere she goes, it's just like this fog that you just need to protect yourself from it, because it's just going to eat you alive and everyone around you alive. So
Yep.
I'm dreading her, as weird as that sounds, more than Garett, as far as like emotional, like, energy goes. Of just, I can't stand her. I just can't stand her. I know you guys feel that way, and it's more geared toward Garett, which I can't stand him. He's just a little bitch. But like her, man, oh, it runs so deep.
She's worse. She's worse. Yes.
Yeah, she is. It's like, oh,
She
it's so
smirks.
bad. Huh?
She smirks. Oh man. She smirked. She told her daddy, or she asked her dad if he was going to bond her out, and or whoever. All I know is she smirked and said she was ready to go. Oh my god. I'm like, I'm lost. I'm lost on this one.
Uh, it's just astounding to me, just the way that she carries on. You're just like,
Maybe it was the braids that they were too tight. I don't
which I
know.
I don't know. I just can't imagine what it would like going through life and being a person like her, just a manipulative, lying, pathological,
Yeah, bitch.
horrible person. And I don't think that she's like, I think she knows it, and I think she takes pride in it. I think she takes pride in doing exactly what she did, pulling one over on people and
Yeah.
being purposefully deceitful and mean. I think that she enjoys that. That look that she gave, I'll never ever forget it. I'll
Oh
never
yeah.
forget. Like,
She's sadistic
that was
also.
one of the
She
most
enjoys it.
diabolical moments I've ever seen play out in like real life. Like, you got to be kidding me. Go away. Like, who does that kind of shit? But I can hear, but I gotta go. I gotta go and try
All
to
good.
rig up some. I've got, apparently we don't have any ice packs. I'm sure they're under one of the kids' beds. We've got these big blocks, and they're like laying on her knee, and I can hear her like hitting the door. So she's wanting me to come and fix it.
All right
Manipulating
now.
narcissist. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely that. Queen of evil. All right,
Yes.
guys. Have a good night. I'll talk at you later. Thank you for joining me, Ginger. Much love. Love
All right.
you.
Love you.